you have to pivot, because if all your income is coming in active, you've got to find a new active way to have that same income come in. And so essentially what we've created for ourselves is a good job. And the value of starting to move more and more of that income into passive is that now it's no longer a job. The money is making money. The system is producing money. And the money coming in is no longer tied to your effort or your doing. Hello and welcome back to the Joyous Path to Millions. I want to riff with you guys on something that has been really top of mind for me lately. And it's this concept of active versus passive income. And I hope it's been on your mind too, but I don't know. And you may even have a different definition of passive income than I have, because I see a lot getting thrown around on the internet that I don't necessarily agree with. But I want to dive into this topic and why it is so important. So let's do this. Before we begin, hi, I'm Emily June Wilcox. I am the host of this top 2% global podcast. I'm also the creator of the Money Wound Medicine program, which is my signature program. We'll drop a link in the show notes. I help you to heal your money wounds, make bank in your business, and build high net worth. And my background is building multiple businesses. So I've been a serial entrepreneur. I've built 7-figure businesses in multiple different categories and business types. And now I spend most of my time coaching. All right. So that's a little intro. Let us dive right into this juicy topic. So first of all, let me tell you what isn't passive income, because the internet seems to have this really confused right now, especially in the coaching space. So just having an evergreen course or a digital course that you can sell anytime is not passive income, okay? And people will say, yeah, but I made money in my sleep. But what I would ask, and it is possible, okay, that it could be passive income. However, most people's digital product or course will not pass the passive income test, because if you look at their week and how much time they spent doing sales and marketing to drive traffic to that product, it is not passive, okay? If they were to stop doing their work for even a week, their sales dry up. So there's a passive piece of it, which is that when they sell something, they don't then have to work to deliver it, but the sale is not passive. And therefore, they've taken a few steps toward creating passive income, but it's not truly passive. And I'm not knocking that strategy at all. It's one that I employ and really, but for the purpose of this conversation, your passive income needs to pass the deserted island test, okay? So you need to be able to spend at least 3 months on a deserted island with no internet, no access to the outside world, and that money still needs to keep coming in. If that could happen, then for the purpose of this conversation, you have passive income. Why do I even want to talk about this? I work primarily with entrepreneurs, and there's like a kind of saying on the internet that's like, entrepreneurs are the only people crazy enough to quit a 40-hour job in order to be their own 60-hour-a-week boss. And it's funny, but there's some truth to it as well, right? One of my friends was like, I used to say my boss was a bitch, like when she was working for herself, because the truth is, we enjoy entrepreneurship because of the freedom it affords us, but we also bump up against the fact that we might not give ourselves the freedom that we truly desire because of financial pressures or the feeling that we'll be getting behind in our business, etc. And so one of the biggest problems that CEOs and entrepreneurs have is like fully unplugging and taking a break, right? And so you go from making active income as an employee to earning active income as an entrepreneur. What does active income mean? It means that you need to be participating in the business. You need to be doing something in order for that income to keep coming in. And the good thing is that you probably really enjoy the active income that you're earning as an entrepreneur more than what you did when you were an employee. And by the way, I'm not knocking employees at all. I think it can also be a great path to wealth and a lot of freedom and a lot of enjoyment of life. But for those of us that feel called to the entrepreneurial journey, this is the deal. And when you have active income, the potential downside to that we don't often talk about or examine is that life can still happen. And so I've seen just in the past year, one entrepreneur who has young children, she's in her 30s, and her husband, in the course of 1 year, went from having a mystery illness to being diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and passing away. So what is her capacity to show up in her business and produce this active income when her husband was sick and then died and she's grieving and she's got young children? Like, it's probably pretty diminished. And while that would be true if you're an employee as well, when you're an employee, often you're like a number. You're one of a team of 500 or a team of 50. And so if you're not able to show up at 100%, the impact is not as great. When you are the founder and the CEO and the main person doing sales and marketing in your business and the main person doing fulfillment in your business, and you're not at 100%, the business is going to feel that. That is going to be an issue. I know another entrepreneur who's been a coach for 20 years, and she hurt her knee while she was hosting a retreat and had to have a surgery and had all these significant health challenges. And it really impacted her business and the way that she was able to show up in it. And I could go on and on. And these stories are not meant to scare you or scare me, but we have to be honest and look at the facts and understand that when all of our income is active income and we are a solopreneur or running a very small business, we need a hedge. It would be very good for us to start moving some of our income from active to passive so that if and when life happens, we're more set up to handle that. The other biggest thing that I see amongst entrepreneurs is burnout and a changing of interest. And, I was able to do it this one way and grow my business and everything was going well. And then I just woke up one day and I literally couldn't do it anymore. So even if you don't have a health crisis, it's like if you're not feeling passionate about it or you can't run your business the same way, and this has happened to me before too, and it honestly really took me by surprise, but it just is what it is. You have to pivot because if all your income is coming in active, you've got to find a new active way to have that same income come in. And so essentially what we've created for ourselves is a good job. And the value of starting to move more and more of that income into passive is that now it's no longer a job. The money is making money. The system is producing money. And the money coming in is no longer tied to your effort or your doing. Okay? So it doesn't mean that no one is involved, right? But it would need to be that this income could come in, again, if you spent 3 months on a deserted island with no access to Wi-Fi, cell phone, etc. No one could get a hold of you. That money still keeps coming in like clockwork. So there's lots and lots of ways to do that. And again, you can have someone involved in your business. I'll give you an example. The timeshare that we bought, where we have listings on Airbnb, I have my assistant just keeping that calendar up to date. So she could still be doing that while I'm on a deserted island. It's very simple. She's following a standard operating procedure. There's nothing she needs to consult with me on. And that money could continue to come in even while I'm completely removed, not even available for a single question, and because it's not needed in that channel of wealth. So one of my favorite ways to generate more passive income is through real estate. And you're just surprised, but you're going to hear me talking about that more. And there's just so many advantages. There's a lot of tax advantages. There's a lot of ways that it's building wealth for you, but it also is more passive. Now, it depends on what type of real estate investing you're doing, how you're doing it, how actively involved you are, but it certainly can be very passive. There are sections of the real estate industry where it's just called mailbox money, because literally all you have to do is go to the mailbox and pick up your check. There's not a single other thing that needs to be done. But even if you have rental properties, you can have a property manager in place. You can give them the authority to approve any repairs that need to be done, etc. And that would pass the deserted island test. So one thing that I get concerned about with my clients and all of the entrepreneurs that I'm lucky enough to work with is that there's really no plan B. There's nothing in place so that if you get sick or you get burnt out or your interests change, that you're not in this kind of panic moment because you've got everything in active income. And I think the passive income tends to be more of a someday thing. It's something that is on people's vision board. It's something that they want, but they have some limiting beliefs around what would need to happen in order for them to start generating passive income. And I will tell you that all of your excuses are myths. They are not real. They're just keeping you in the waiting game and keeping you from moving forward towards building these passive streams of income. And so I would challenge you to start setting a goal. And it's maybe at first it's just $500 a month or $1,000 a month that becomes passive income. And it's like, how can you build that now with the resources that you have? And then once you've got $500 a month coming in passive income, can you make that $1,000? And then $2,000? And just slowly start shifting more of your income from active to passive, or building them in parallel. So it's not even a shift. It's like all the active income still coming in, but now a larger percentage of your overall income is passive. And so that way, if you ever wanted to take a sabbatical, if your interests changed, and even if they didn't, like when you're set up and passive income is normal and covers all of your expenses and all of your lifestyle wants and desires, then all of a sudden your active income is just coming purely from a place of pleasure and service and impact. And that's going to feel so good and so freeing. And you may find that the way that you want to impact when it no longer has dollar signs needed might be completely different. And that a lot with high net worth individuals and the ways that they work with charities. Like they're very generous with their time in addition to their money, because their time doesn't have to be spent generating active income. So for me, this thought process is very expansive, and it really gets me thinking like a high net worth individual and someone who is not trading time for dollars. And so I invite you into this conversation and challenge you to start setting goals for passive income for yourself. Does any of your income pass the deserted island test? And if not, how much do you want to start generating in a way that does? So let me know, slide into my DMs. I want to hear what you're challenging yourself with, what your first goal is, how this conversation impacted you, so that together we can rise, we can build more high net worth, more generational and legacy wealth, and more of that passive income that gives us the true time freedom that so many of us crave. All right, that's it for today. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. Changing the way that we think, feel, and talk about money is up-leveling the planet. I truly believe that. The ripple effect starts with you tuning in, and it spreads when you share this show on Instagram and Facebook. You can tag me at mmakesmoney. And you know what moves the needle the most? Taking just a minute to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. This show isn't free to produce, So let's multiply those dollars invested and help this show reach a bigger audience each week. So thank you in advance for your help. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm sending you all the magic money vibes on your joyous path to millions.